The topic is finding a formula for the inverse function. So let's do this example. This is a very good example because it involves a lot of stuff. Find the inverse function of f of x equal x squared minus x, and x is bigger or equal than 1/2. So it's given, they restrict in the domain. Even though the domain for x squared minus x is all real number, what they do here, they restrict it. The reason why they restrict it is because x squared minus x is not a one-to-one function. If you try to graph it, I think it's going to be, anyway, it's not a one-to-one function. I don't know if I should graph it here quick so you'll have an idea. I think if you factor x, you'll get 1 and 0, so 1 and 0. So it looks something like that. It doesn't have to. So it's not one-to-one because it doesn't pass a horizontal line test, right? So what they did, they just pick x equal x bigger than 1/2, which is right here. So they pick this function. From here to here, it's a one-to-one. Let me regraph it here. So they pick, it's 1/2. So they pick y equal x squared minus x. X is bigger or equal than 1/2. So this is a one-to-one, so therefore the inverse function exists. Remember, a function has to be one-to-one before you can find the inverse function. Alright, so let's start. So what's the first thing we need to do? First thing we need to do, let y equal f of x. That's easy. F of x is replaced by y. Remember, x is given to be bigger than 1/2. Now, number 2, we need to swap x and y. So the y becomes x and the x becomes y. Now, since x was bigger than 1/2, now y take the role of x. So y becomes bigger or equal than 1/2. It's really important. Alright. Now, what's the next step? Remember now, number 3, we need to solve for y. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write y squared minus y on the right side equal x, and then I know y is bigger or equal than 1/2, right? Just rewrote it, right? Whatever it's on the right side, I put it on the left side because we're going to be looking for y. Now here, when you have a y squared and a y, this is just one of the methods that you just have to learn. What you need to do is complete the square. How do we complete the square? Look at this formula, if you forgot how to complete the square. Now what you need to do is, see, we have this term and this term. So what we're missing is k, this number that's here divided by 2. And actually, because there's a minus, I'm going to use this one. It's the same thing. The only difference, this will be a plus or a minus. So I have this term and this term, and I'm missing this one. How do I get this? Take k divided by 2. What is k here? Is 1. So take this divided by 2 and add it. So I need plus 1 over 2 squared. Now if I add 1 over 2 squared, I have to do the same thing to either both sides, or I can just do it here. So I need to add 1 over 2 squared. Right, to both sides of the equations. I can't just add 1 over 2 squared to one side. Now left side, according to this formula, it becomes y minus 1 over 2 squared. Now this is going to be equal to x plus 1 over 4. Right, but remember, we're looking for y. Now it's easy. Y, we can square root both sides. Y minus 1 over 2 squared, square root both sides. And then what is square root of y minus 1 squared? Look at the definition. Square root of u squared is just absolute value of u. Don't forget, it's not y minus 1/2. It's absolute value of y minus 1/2. Really important. Now you're gonna see also why they give us this condition, why they restrict it. If they didn't give us that if they didn't give us the fact that x is bigger or equal than 1/2, then we should have done y minus 1/2 is equal minus or plus square root of x plus over 1/4, and then y will be 1/2 minus plus square root of x plus 1/4. But this is not a function. Remember, a function, y will have, for each x there exists only one y. This is definitely not a function. There are two values for y. Plug in x equals 0 and you'll see you got two y's. So it's not a function. So that's why they give us the fact that x is bigger or equal than 1/2, which means y is bigger than 1/2, which means y minus half. Let me write it here. Y is bigger or equal than 1/2 means y minus 1/2 is bigger than 0. And remember, when a number is bigger than 0, its absolute value is just whatever it's itself, right? So this means that we got y minus 1/2, which is equal to square root of x plus 1/4. Now I'm solving for y. Right? And of course, the last thing is number 4, replace y by f inverse. And we're done. This is the formula. And that's it.